Good morning from the ladder man.
Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John, and this video is going to be what pickups I've got in the past week or so. But first I've got a couple of unboxings for you. First up is a package from Harrison Metcalf. Now Harrison got in touch with me and said he would like to send me two movies, and he told us what they were, and I said yes. Brilliant. I haven't got these movies and I'm interested in seeing them actually. So he quite generously sent them across to me. So first up, Harrison sent me The Social Network. So The Social Network is a movie I have been interested in actually. It's always been one of those ones that everybody picks it up from things like Poundland and such forth, is that a word? And I always sort of think, well, I'll get myself down to Poundland and whatever, and I cannot find it anywhere. It's one of those ones. This has got a... actually, Harrison said to me, he said both these movies have got slipcovers on it, and he knows I'm a fan of slipcovers, of course. It's one of my things. And it's great to have this in the collection because I'm quite interested in the story behind this as well. It's a 2-disc set. It's got 3 hours of behind the scenes features, which is pretty wild. Like, it's also directed by David Fincher, which is another box tick for me. Always been interested in this movie but never got to see it. So that's The Social Network. Next up is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. This is the nice slip box, I'm going to say, for this one. So it's nice to get this version. I think I will get the versions of the two sort of trilogies. So a good one to get in the collection here. And obviously these this slipcover is lovely. Really nice slipcover. Very eye-catching as well. I like slip boxes. You don't see that many of them out in the wild at all. And I know that this is one of the ones, if you ever saw it in CEX, that probably the box would be like a total mess. So it's amazing that Harrison got in touch and said he would like to send these to me. So that's a big thank you to Harrison Metcalf for sending me these two videos, The Social Network and The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Next up is a package that's just come this morning from Joseph Borg. Now Joe got in touch with me and said he'd seen two movies in CEX that he noticed on one of my recent slipcovers videos. The amazing box of slipcovers I got from Michael Hewitt. He noticed there was 2 movies in there in his local CEX. He was going to pick them up for us, and I was going to get the slipcovers here. So what I'll do is I'll unbox them here, and I'll put the slipcovers on, and you'll see which ones they are. How's that for packaging? Are you listening, Amazon? So what Joe has managed to pick up. Oh, hang on. Oh, there's a receipt there. Wow, this is everything in here. Oh, there's a lot of receipts. So first of all, Joe picked up for me Night of the Dead. Now this is one I don't think I've ever seen out in the wild, never heard tell of it till I saw the slipcover off Michael Hewitt. And you know, it's one of these ones that was on my list. I took photographs of all the slipcovers I've got, and when I go into CEX I will look through the photographs and see if there's anything knocking about. Sometimes you come across them. Actually there's a couple of pickups from CEX that I've got myself, and they do utilise the slipcovers I received from Michael Hewitt. So more of that in a minute. So yes, so Night of the Dead. Now, does this sticker come off like the other stickers are coming off quite easily now? So the sticker come off, no problem there. And there's the disc art. And yeah, I don't know too much about this movie, but for 50p, you can't argue with that. So this is a great cover, but the slip cover just elevates it a little bit. I'll chuck the slip cover on. So there you go, what a great looking release that is. This is it. This is a lovely slip. This. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just makes this this release look a little bit more premium for what it is. And but yeah, these type of movies, it's only 90 minutes long. It's an easy watch, I would say. And it says country of origin is the UK. So this might be an interesting UK film, which I've never ever heard of, but interested to see it and also to get it in this this form. So that's Night of the Dead. And secondly, Joe got me Pompeii. Now this one here, and again, I'll take the sticker off. So I've always been interested in this movie actually. remember seeing it where a trailer for it, and I thought, oh, I wouldn't mind seeing that, and then just never bumped into it at all. This one, of course, it has a slipcover. Now the best thing about the slipcover is the movie isn't in 3D or presented in 3D on this particular release, but the slipcover is in 3D, which I think is a great touch, a lenticular slipcover for this. It's got a lot of depth into it there, so that's going to look great on the shelves. And this is another one that I don't know if the Debs is into this type of movie, but I'll try. I just say, do you want to watch something about Pompeii? I'm a big I was really interested at school in this type of sort of history to do with things like this, these sort of natural catastrophes, if for want of a better word. And don't know anything about the movie apart from the fact that you're going to see the sort of erupting of Pompeii and what happened to people there. I don't know how they're going to fit a movie into that, but I remember seeing some of the special effects on the trailer looking quite good. So once again, thanks very much, Joe, for thinking of me and going down to your local CEX and picking them up for me and send them up to me, obviously, and packaged really well, and I'm able to get these slipcovers used from Michael Hewitt. So these two for me are what I would call really good additions to the collection. Look great on the shelves. So thanks once again, Joe. That's Night of the Dead and Pompeii. Okay, so here's me pickups from last week. So first off, from Poundland, believe it or not, I got Tower Heist. Now, Poundland has been considered as just a bust now. So these movies always used to be £2, then they got down to £1. I'm pretty sure they'll go down to 10 pence soon just to get rid of them, because the movies they've got in there are just absolute rubbish that you would never want. This is a rare one. When I looked, I went, oh, hang on, there's actually one I want in here, because you always try and you always see, is there anything out there? This movie was one that it hasn't got a very good reputation actually, but I do really like the cast in here. I mean, it's got Eddie Murphy, it's got Ben Stiller, also got Matthew Broderick as well. So yeah, for me it's a triple pay. You know, you get your digital copy. Remember digital copies when they used to be like that? Wow. And you do get DVD, and you also get the Blu Ray. Now, I have checked out all of these movies, and I'll tell you what I think about the picture quality as well, if you ever think that you might want to buy this one. The picture quality on here is quite good, actually. It's your sort of, I would say, average Blu-ray. By average Blu-ray, I mean, it still looks quite good. But I think the modern-day Blu-rays are taken it to another level, actually. Some of them are borderline 4Ks in the way that they come across. This one come across really good, but sometimes when you see like an older Blu-ray, you will see the kind of, not limitations, but you do know that you're watching something that isn't really mastered in today's technology. Just a thought of mine. But anyway, it's a pretty decent pickup, and it's on the massive list, of course it is. But yeah, one of the rare ones when I looked in there and I thought, hang on, there's actually something I wanted to see. So that's Tower Heist. Next up, these pickups are all from various CEXs. What a mouthful. Okay, so first of all, I picked up Wildcard for £2, and I put it on, and the picture quality in here is really good actually. It's one of those ones where you think, oh, I bet this looks mediocre and average, but it's a really nice picture quality. And I haven't heard too many good things about the movie, but I always like Jason Statham's movies. It's a bit like sort of Luke Goss. I can put up with the fact that some of the movies aren't really that good in essence, but yeah, they're enjoyable to me. So I do like Jason Statham's movies, and I always go and check them out whenever I see them. I will always pick up a cheap Jason Statham movie. Wow, that was a tongue twister. Okay, so for £2 that was Wildcard. So next up for £1 I got Lincoln. Now the reason why I got this one was because of the slipcover I got from Michael Hewitt. Like I say, these movies that I'm going to get and put them in a slipcover, they're literally for like pennies really. So there you are, that's the slipcover on. This is a movie that I'm interested in, this sort of the history of Lincoln. I just want to find out a little bit more about him. I think he's quite an interesting person when it comes to what he did for America. And yeah, so this was I'm interested in seeing how Daniel Day-Lewis, who's a great actor, how he portrays him as well, because you'll see a lot of documentaries about Lincoln, but you don't really see too many biopics on him. So that's Lincoln. Next up for 50p I got Minions. Now this one here, I always thought I had it, and we do like Despicable Me in these type of movies. I think they're really funny and really watchable, very good to look at, very well sort of rendered, if that's a word. And of course got a slipcover for it. So 50p, slipcover over the top of it. It's a great thing to have on the shelf, because we do watch these, and this is the lenticular slipcover for the 3D, and it looks great. You've got to look at If you looked at it straight on, it doesn't come across, but you've got to look at it to one side, which is quite bizarre. So it's nice to find this in Lincoln and put some slips over the top of them for literally £1.50. So that's Minions. So next up for £5 is a movie I've always been interested in. It is The Edge of Tomorrow. Obviously I picked this up for the lenticular. The lenticular is really nice on here. I don't know if it comes across that the letters sort of stick out. And with a sort of liking Tom Cruise these days, I'm up for checking this stuff out. It's got the 2D version as well as a 3D version in here. And I did say to Deborah we've got this one. She's up for watching this one. So lovely lenticular case. I know I've got a slipcover for Michael before, but the slipcover, as Lenny Nero pointed out, is only for the American release. But when I saw this one, lenticular one, I thought, right, I'm going to have this one. I know this is probably coming out in 4K, but these are ones where you can get one and you can actually see if you like it. So if you like it enough to get the 4K, brilliant. But if you like it and think, well, the Blu Ray will do, I'll keep it at Blu Ray levels. So that's a pretty good picker for me. And also it stars Emily Blunt as well, who me and Deborah are big fans on. That's Live, Die, Repeat, or The Edge of Tomorrow. So as you saw at the start of this video, a cameo from Michael, Where's Me Ladders? And I was lucky enough to pick up for £2 in CEX Michael's life story. It's called The Nut Job. Yeah, so I saw this movie actually at the cinema, believe it or not, and I have watched it on Sky Movies, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. This, I put it on. Now these ones on Blu-ray, they always look fantastic on my telly. They look fantastic on the other telly, never mind this one. So I put this one, and the colours on here are absolutely amazing. Now if you haven't seen this movie, I know it classes as like kids movie, but it's absolutely brilliant. It's so funny. It's one of those ones that sort of, I think what they do is with these movies is they've got to put stuff in it that adults will find funny, because if you're sitting through a movie with kids for a couple hours and they're sort of like maybe not that interested in the movie, or they are interested in the movie, but you've got to sit there with them and you think, what on earth am I sitting here watching this rubbish for? They have to put some stuff in that adults will find funny as well. So that's why these ones sort of will work. As you're sitting there, just throw them on, have a laugh with them, lovely lenticular, and you'll get a laugh out of this movie. And I do recommend this highly. It's one of the best sort of computer generated movies I've seen in a long time actually, and I was really surprised at how decent it was. So like I say, that's Michael's life story, The Nut Job.
Where's Me Ladders?
So next up for £5 I got Shooting Stars. Now this is a strange movie. I knew that it was a silent movie, and I thought, right, silent stuff. It's got lots of sort of like silent movie clips on there, sort of little short ones. So it's got a booklet, big nice booklet, and it's also got DVD and Blu-ray. Now this movie, I didn't know anything about it, but I do know that I love me silent movies. Now I think that this movie was made in 1928, and I think what it does is it tells about the fact of maybe silent movies drawn to an end, and talking about like the talkies coming in. Now this movie is quite strange in a fashion, because what it is, it's kind of like the movie is about the making, the behind the scenes of the actual movie that they're shooting, which is it's a bit like a documentary feel to it. It's quite like nothing I've ever seen in a silent movie before. It looked quite interesting. The print on here is very nice actually, considering it's 1928. Wow. So very sort of like different silent movie. You don't see many silent movies that are about silent movies, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, so like I say, these ones, when I see things like this for £5, especially with the booklet, 2 discs, you think it's a no-brainer to pick it up. The sticker's a little bit temperamental, so that'll be getting off with the old lighter fuel. But I'm a big fan of silent movies, as you know, and this one seems like a very interesting take on the silent movie thing. So that's Shooting Stars. So next up are a couple of 88 films upgrades. First up is Terratrain. Now the reason why I've got this one is because it's got a slipcover on it. My original one didn't have a slipcover on. I haven't took the stickers off yet. I've flipped the artwork around, and also as well it's got the booklet in, which my one didn't have in. So this is amazing to get what I consider the full version. I do think that it's great that they put the slipcovers on here and make them look like the original artwork. You know, when they put them on, it doesn't actually draw attention to itself on the shelves. If you haven't got one, it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. But I know that I've always wanted this with a slipcover, because I really like the slipcover. Of course, I missed out on it. This movie here, it's I think it's from 1980. Let's just check. Yeah, 1980. Features Jamie Lee Curtis. I have seen it, but many years ago back in the day. It's one of those ones I haven't got around to rewatching again. And the picture quality here is quite good, actually. It's obviously on a train. It's a bit like a slasher on a train, with various things like masks and whatnot. But I don't know anything. I can't remember anything about it. I do know that I'm a big fan of this range, and I was pleased to get this one with a cover. Now, if I see any of the other ones that I need to upgrade, not many haven't got a cover on. I've got most of the slips on them, but if I see any more, I will upgrade them. And this one was quite cheap as well, because sometimes this was like £12, and for £8 I thought, yeah, that's about the price I'll go for. Like I say, it's just an upgrade. It's not as if I needed it, but I did prefer to have it in this nice version here. That's spine number 41. So that's Terratrain. Next up, for £8, upgraded One Dark Night. Now, I had this previously, but I didn't get the slipcover on it, and it's a bit of a weird thing about this, and I'll show you, which I didn't even notice till I got this release. So I've got all my other ones I've got that I wanted to get. I haven't got all of them. There was a few that I did get Street Trash, but I felt like Street Trash had a lovely slipcover on it, but it was just not a good version. It had like a lot of flex on it, and I wasn't keen on it, so I thought, well, I'll just let that one go. I did not feel like I had to double dip with that one. So yeah, so when I got this one, there's the alternative art, and also here is another alternative art, if I can get the box open. And also you get the booklet with it as well, which I didn't get in the other release. That's the other artwork there, and there's a booklet, nice booklet as well. So when I look on the back of this one, it said this is the limited edition slipcover version, and it's also got limited edition features on it, which aren't on this one. So that explains the fact that this is slightly different. Maybe they've done that to... Now this one does say it's got reversible sleeve incorporating original poster, but it's got this extra sort of cover on here, which this one doesn't have. So they have went back to it and altered it slightly. And yeah, so the picture quality on here is pretty good. And the movie itself, I have a blast with this movie. It's not for everybody, and I think it's from about 1983, and it's done by Tom McLaughlin, the same bloke who did Jason Lives. And to me, it does all come across a bit like Phantasm as well, without the sort of fantastic things that happens in it, because a lot of it takes place in the mortuary. So it's a great little slasher, yeah, and it's got a good cast in it. Actually, one of the cast is the sort of girlfriend from Pee-wee's Big Adventure, whatever she was called, Dodie, I think she was called, and she's in this movie. I recognise her straight away, and it's a decent movie. It's one that this sort of series gets vastly overlooked. But if anybody can sort of track it down, I do recommend it if you like them sort of low budget 80s slasher movies that are kind of a little bit different from the norm. That's One Dark Night. So also from CEX I got a few 4Ks. So first up, for £5 I got the Lego Batman movie. Now this movie is a blast. I love this movie. We had such a good time with it. I did pick it up for dirt cheap on Blu Ray. But this one here, and it looked nice, but this one here, when I put it on, obviously the star is HDR. The colours in here are just absolutely next level. I knew it would be. The sound in here is absolutely amazing as well. It's Dolby Atmos and Dolby, is it? Yeah, Dolby Atmos. So for £5, I knew instantly, plus got a slip on, that it was a pickup for me. And I will upgrade any Lego movie I see on 4K, because I know that it'll just look that little bit better. And it's the colours really that's the star of these movies, plus the sound as well is fantastic. And they are all, I find, very enjoyable as movies. Probably the most enjoyable ones of these sort of CGI ones. We can get a lot of fun out of them. There's a lot of stuff in here that is so humorous when it comes to the way that these superhero goes on this. The Batman character in here is like really one of the best characters you'll find in the Lego universe. So really happy to get this one. I'd like to say £5. I think I would have paid even £10 for this, could I like it that much. So very pleased to get this one. Can't wait to rewatch it. Can't wait to rewatch all the Lego movies actually, because I've had fun with all of them, and I find them really entertaining. So that's the Lego Batman movie. Next up, for £12 I got Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom double pack. Now, I've always wanted Jurassic World on 4K, and every time I went there, it's either been a steelbook, which is fair enough, but I didn't really want to get the steelbook, or it didn't have a slip. So, yeah, This one here was the one I was always going to get if I saw it, or I was going to get the Jurassic, whatever came first, Jurassic World or this double pack. I saw the double pack at 12 quid and I thought, right, slip on it, looks good quality, I will get it. Now I've seen this one in 4K and I think it looks really good. This one here, it looks pretty good. There's bits in it where it looks like wow, there's other bits in it where it looks, you know, a bit and I think that's to do with the fact of, you know, all these CGI stuff, which makes the sort of quality go down a little bit. I believe when you've got the dinosaurs in the same picture, it's not as sharp as it was without them in. But I really enjoy this movie. This one was okay. I didn't mind it. We both went to pictures to see both of these, and funny enough, went to the pictures to see the other day when I got this. The same day I went to see Jurassic Park Dominion. Is it called Dominion? I think it is. And to be honest, when we put it on, it's got a long running time. I thought this is going to drag this. It didn't drag at all. And I also thought, is it going to hold me attention with the fact that it hasn't got dinosaurs all the way through? Is it going to end? Is it going to sort of complete the arc and all that? I think it ticks the boxes on everything. It was a bit strange, the fact it was kind of a bit like espionage for some of the movie, and I thought, where's this going? Is this going to like take it in a really strange place? But to be honest, I quite enjoyed that bit. And also, it kind of did come full circle. The end sort of end bit of the movie, the end act is really good, and on reflection I had a great time with it. So I will be getting that in 4K, and then I think it was a great way to end off the Jurassic Park 6 trilogy, whatever that is. So anyway, what the funny thing about that movie was, when I was watching it, I did find, weirdly enough, the picture quality on the cinema to be not the best picture quality I've ever seen in a movie. Some parts of it were absolutely stunning, like close-ups of people with sweat on it, and like the facial features was amazing. Other sort of long shots were quite low quality. Now, I don't know if that was the way it was projected. I'm not too sure about that. All I'm thinking of is just a bit of a heads up. Maybe when the 4K comes out, you might want to see some reviews of the 4K before you actually go and purchase it, because you might be disappointed with it. If this was something I looked at, I don't know if anybody else who saw this movie at the cinema thought the same thing. I didn't see it in IMAX though, just in a regular cinema. But it's all. I said to Deborah said she didn't notice anything, but me being, you know, that type of person, I did have my glasses on, so it wasn't as if I was sitting there without them on. So at this moment, I would say that Jurassic World Dominion actually has the worst picture quality out of all of these. Now, that could have been just me on that day. So I would like to hear in the comments if anybody else thought that when they watched it, that the picture quality was just a little bit low in times, which you were expecting more. I was expecting more detail. But anyway, I really enjoyed the movie, and I think that it was a sort of good ending to this this trilogy, and also the sort of whole complete universe of Jurassic Park. So that's Jurassic World, the 2-movie collection. So next up, for £12 on 4K, I got a movie that I thought was one of the best movies I saw last year, and I think it's one of the best movies of Marvel movies I've ever seen. It is ShangChi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Now, I was quite surprised when I went to see this with Deborah. I said, well, we'll go and see this because we do like this sort of like action stuff, but I didn't expect it to be anything that would be like on par with Hong Kong cinema. It had some great Hong Kong martial artists. It had some great Hong Kong martial artist stars in here with Michelle Yeoh and Tony Leung. I think it was just a perfect cast for me. Yes, Awkwafina was a little bit grated on you, I've got to say, but I think for me she was all right by the end of it. But to be honest, I was thinking, wow, can she not be a little bit more quiet? But never mind. Apart from that, I think this movie is absolutely brilliant. And I knew it was going to look good on 4K because I've heard some great stories about it, and I put it on 4K, and I've got to say that the 4K on this is absolutely sensational. The colours, the sharpness, everything about it, the sound is one of the best. I think it's maybe even the best at this point, one of the best Marvel one I've ever seen on 4K. It blows all the other ones I've got out of the water. I know that people sometimes say that the Marvel stuff doesn't come across that well on 4K. But this one here was just next level. It was absolutely brilliant, and me and Deborah do love this movie as well. So it ticks all the boxes for me. Sticker's a little bit problematic. That'll be coming off with the old the lighter fuel, and that'll get rid of that. But love the slipcover. I've always been wanting to pick it up, but for £12 when I saw it there with a slip, rare slip, I thought, wow, that's a definite pickup. So that's ShangChi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So finally, I went across to HMV, and first I picked up Big Bad Wolves. Now for $4.99 I thought, and with a slip, I thought that's a definite pickup. I've looked at this movie quite a few times. Didn't know enough about it to sort of take the plunge. So not sure where this movie was made. The language is in Hebrew, but I don't know which country of origin it will be from. But for $4.99 I thought, well, this is a chance to pounce on it. Don't know anything about it as such, but it's meant to be. It says it's pretty violent on here. And yeah, so these are the ones that, especially these 101 films, just for some reason I just like these sort of slipcovers on them. And usually they do come down cheap in price. I hadn't seen this one cheap at all. It does look like a type of movie I'll be interested in, and I checked it out actually. I put it on, and the picture quality on here, for some reason I was expecting something quite grainy, quite gritty, but the picture quality in here is really nice. It's got one of those sort of borderline 4K feels about it. When you put it on and say that somebody else is a 4K, you could kind of pass for that one. Weirdly enough, I wasn't expecting it from a movie that's kind of meant to be pretty brutal in places. But yeah, so I thought, well, you know, these are the type of times I like to pick up these movies, hopefully with a slip. And for £5, you can't go wrong. If you've made a mistake, it's not an expensive mistake. So that's Big Bad Wolves. Next up I got, and it was the last one in the shop, it was a special edition, Licorice Pizza. Now this movie here is a one that I heard a lot of people talking about, and I just liked the title, and I thought, right, I'm going to investigate on that one. I'll not unbox this release, but I'll unbox it when I do talk about when I've watched it. This one here, like I say, it was the same price, 15 quid, for the one that was just on the shelves, which was just a regular one. And it was funny because when I looked at this, without knowing anything about the actress in here, I thought, she looks familiar for some reason. And when I turned it over, I thought, oh, she really looks like the bass player from a group called Haim or Haim. I'm not too sure how you pronounce that, like three girls, sisters. So actually it is her, believe it or not. I was like, wow. So when I put it on, I checked it out, the quality, and it actually looks, for some reason, I don't know how they've done it, the movie's set in 1973, it actually looks as if you could say to somebody this movie was made in 1973 and they would never know. The clothes, the feel of the look of the sort of movie looks like a movie you would get in the 1970s. They've done a really good way to do that. I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's really good how they've done that. Now, and again, I don't really know anything about it. I know I like the title. I know I like the presentation of it. There'll be one, and I like that actress here. I like that group actually, although they went a bit poppy recently, but they were great when they first started out. If you see live stuff, especially her, when you see her playing the bass, she does all this sort of like weird gurning, and like I think they're quite watchable in there. They do play a lot of like sort of concerts. I would like to go and see them, but I think they play two big places for me at this moment. If they were playing like a smaller place, it would be absolutely brilliant. So yeah, so that's it's got BAFTA winner original screenplay. So it's got a lot going for it, and a lot of people are talking about it. Interesting to pick it up in its special edition form. So that's Licorice Pizza. What a title. So lastly, I picked up a surprise release actually. I didn't have any sort of inkling this was going to come out. I've been after upgrading this on physical media for a long time, even though I looked and I don't have the original DVD of it, which is a bit strange because I thought, well, what happened to that? The movie is Romper Stomper. Now, I love this movie. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think the performances from everybody in here are stunning. Russell Crowe is unreal as Hando, and is sort of the guy who is. It's got a lot of subplots in this. It's not just straightforward. There's a lot of things that I can pick up from this movie after seeing it quite a few times. Now, I like these movies a bit like Repo Man, that I like a sort of ensemble cast, and they sort of portray sort of a period in time of maybe these old skinheads, and Repo Man was more to do with punks in America, and I got a real blast out of these type of movies in any way, shape or form. Now this one was one that it come under a lot of flack when it originally was released. It was sort of likened to A Clockwork Orange, where people thought that there'd be a lot of copycat sort of violence to do with this movie. And to be honest, I don't think there was, but I think people were frightened about it because it was so like wow at the time. When it came out in about 92, I think it came out, there was a big sort of there was big move away from violent films, or violent films coming out. And when a violent film came out like this one, or Man Bites Dog, people will go crazy about the fact you can't show them sort of things here. Like I say, I'll not unbox this one because I'll unbox this when I talk about the movie itself. Now, I've seen this movie quite a few times, and one of the best things about it is the music. The music in here is absolutely brilliant. I think it's some of the best, and not the sort of punk stuff that they're having here, the skinhead music. It's a sort of, especially the theme tune to this is one of the best theme tunes you'll ever hear, in my estimation. It sort of takes this movie into another direction when you hear this sort of like strange sort of theme tune, which I find brilliant. Now, I remember seeing this on DVD, and the DVD looked adequate, I'll say. I think I might have had this on VHS, possibly. Yeah, I did actually. I upgraded to DVD, which was a bit of an upgrade. So I was interested to see what the picture quality was like on here, because it has got a brand new high definition master. And it looks pretty good. Now, this film will never look sensational, because I think it is a gritty film. I think it's a low budget movie. I think it was filmed quite cheaply. And I think it looks better for that. I wouldn't like it to see looking hugely polished, but I think it looks the best it can look. And some of the colours in here are really nice. And the sort of the picture, the dirt from the picture is gone, but it hasn't got the sharpness you would imagine a sort of remaster would have. But I think they've remastered to the best of its capability. And that's all you can ask for, really. If you want to go back to the original vision of the director, I think that's about the best you can ask for a restoration. So, highly, highly, highly recommended Romper Stomper. One of my favourite movies. Yes, it is hyper-violent. There's sort of questionable things in this movie, but that's all to do with the fact of what this movie deals with. And I think it's done in a really good way. And like I say, this performance from Russell Crowe, as soon as you saw him in this movie, you just thought he is going to be going places, because I'd never seen a performance like it at that date. Wow. So thanks once again to Joseph Borg and Harrison Metcalf for hooking me up with these movies. Absolutely brilliant. And Michael Hewitt for supplying the covers to them. So thanks once again for watching. You take care, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers.
Chicken!